All right. Well, I think, yeah, there we go. All right. All right. Hey, hey there, Susan and Woodster. Sorry, I was just getting um, YouTube, make sure it was up and running. You like the background? That's awesome. Yeah, I picked out a couple different ones. You'll have to tell me which ones you like. Let's see if I can change them. What do you think of that one? Ooh, ribeyes. I don't know. I think I like the. Hey, Whitney Napier, written here in Indiana too. Where are you from? I'm in Fishers, on the kind of the northeast side of Indy. I may swing, go back to the meat locker. Yeah, there we go. I think I kind of like that one better. Looks like your dinner, carnivore dog sitter. All right. My dinner was chicken tonight. Um, I had, let's see what I have for lunch. I did a little YouTube short on it. I had a piece of steak that we had left over and a couple pieces of salmon. And then I had a chicken leg thigh combo tonight off of baked chicken and some wings. And that was about it for today. Wasn't super hungry today. So if you guys have questions, I'm a little nervous about, keeping, the chat going and trying to, continuously talk and be entertaining here. So if you got any questions or any topics you want to discuss, this is just a trial run. So love to see what you got out there, maybe what your carnivore day was like today. Um, any challenges, successes, whatever you'd like to share. All right, Whitney, Southern Indiana, close to the Ohio. Oh, in Madison, yeah, I've been to the Madison Regatta boat race a couple times, and that's always a good time down there. It's a it's like a big party. It's a little town on the river in July, and it's a good time down there. Madison's a beautiful little town. Hey, Nourishment Redacted. Ellie, I watched 3 or 4 of your videos today while I was driving around, and very touching stuff. Everybody, go ahead and check out Nourishment Redacted's channel. She's getting started just like I am, and I'm sure she could use the support. And she's got some really nice, touching, heartfelt stories in her videos and the things that she's been going through and her struggles in the past, and talking about her successes now, and how her family's involved, and her kids are carnivore, and it's really really a good story. All right. Hey, carnivore dog sitter. Hey, there's another. I know a couple people asked me if there's any kind of meetup going to happen, and there's another guy who has a keto channel. I'll see if I can find his channel real quick on my other computer. I subscribe to his channel. Let me see if I can find it. Keto Simple, KETO SIMPLE. Keto Simple. He's planning to do, I think, some kind of meetup around Indianapolis for keto and carnivores. I think he said around the end of September or October. So that's something to really look forward to. Hey, I wanted to ask everybody in the chat how the sound looks. The image looks like it's doing good. But this camera that I've got, it's a Logitech, and it has like a built-in microphone on the sides. And I just wanted to make sure that the sound quality was decent. Ellie, thank you. so incredibly sweet and supportive. I'm glad to be your carnivore friend. Well, that's awesome. We're all friends here. I try my best to put my heart in the videos, and yeah, and she certainly does do that. So uh, yeah, definitely go check out her channel. Okay, Whitney, great. Audio's good. Image looks meaty. Sound is good too. Hey, Natalie, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Hopefully, Carnivore Scott will see this and he'll jump in too. But if there's anybody has a particular topic they want to discuss tonight, anything meaty is good to go for me. I know a lot of people talk about their why and kind of springboarding off of what Ellie at Nourishment Redacted, she talks about her why quite a bit, and her health and her family and everything. And, the reasons that I'm doing it, one, we all got to do it for us a little bit. But, I'm also doing it for my family. I'm married. I got 2 kids. And my dad, he only lived to be 61 years old. I'm 53. So I'm only 8 years away from as old as my father was when he passed away. And, he was a hardcore smoker, drinker, Navy man, and ended up passing away of cancer because he never went to the doctor. And, that was almost 20 years ago. So, so I guess that's one reason, the way he lived his life is in the back of my mind. And, I want to try to make sure I'm living my healthiest life. And, hopefully I'll be around till I'm 81 or 91 or 101 or, however long we can stay kicking. I've been carnivore just for about a little over 5 months now. I'm down from 290 pounds to 245. Actually, I jumped up to like 248 the other day, and then I was back down to 245 today. I don't know why, my weight jumps around. I try not to pay attention to the scale, but I'm one of those people who can't really help it. So, yes, Natalie or Ellie, you have to know your why, and it is very important. And I try to keep my why, close to the chest, as I go along through this carnivore journey. And it helps keep me motivated, and a lot of times it keeps me from cheating too. I just try to keep those thoughts at the surface, especially whenever I'm in a challenging environment. It seems to help me. Natalie, your dad made it to age 66. Yeah, cancer took him too. Yeah, cancer is a bad thing. And my dad had lung cancer, and he had liver cancer, which ended up, I think, taking him down in the end. And I think maybe, if we would have known about carnivore diet back then and he could have quit smoking, maybe he could have had another 10 or 15 years on his life. If he had, he would have gotten to meet my wife and his 2 grandchildren. But unfortunately, he never got to meet them. So, so that's another reason, I want to be around, whenever my daughter is 16 and my son's 12. So, when they have kids someday, I want to be around to meet my grandkids. So, lung cancer, yeah, spread everywhere. Nourishment, yeah, you seem diligent, have a clear focus. Yeah, my family does see how hard I'm working on it. My initial weight loss from it, I think inspired my wife to kind of clean up her diet a little bit. She's trying a different deal. She's doing Go-Low. If you've seen the TV commercials for it, she didn't really want to do keto or carnivore. She wanted to do something on her own. So, I respect her choice on that. I'd love to be able to health coach her a little bit, but I don't think she wants to hear it from me. So, um, I don't want to be preachy around my wife or anything. So she is having some success with it, and she's losing weight and feeling a little better. And and I'm totally supportive of what she wants to do, even though it's she's still having fruit and a few carbs here. But actually, I would say her carbs are probably less than 50. So, it's a pretty good start. And if she ever did want to do keto or carnivore, I feel like she's kind of halfway fat adapted and beating her sugar addiction. So it's a good thing. Oh, you took a couple of the screenshots of my. Oh, that's nice. Feel free to do that. Um, your husband took time to join me in seeing success and made him want to do it. I think that's the best thing to do is to just lead by example. If people don't want to be preached to about carnivore, I totally get it. They don't want to hear about what you're doing, but if they see what you're doing and they see your success, you know, that just speaks for itself, and you can't argue with the results. All right. Do I hunt? My husband and I hunt and eat deer, squirrel, turkey, rabbit. We also eat fish and go frogging. That's cool. We enjoy meats God provides us. Well, I don't hunt. I do like to shoot. I'm a Second Amendment supporter and a firearms enthusiast, but I usually just hunt cardboard. But I'm totally not opposed to people who want to hunt and go out there and eat wild game. It can be really good. Um, Eating anything that's grown and wild, and I think it's going to be a perfectly good thing to eat. Some of that stuff can be kind of lean, so you want to make sure you get your fat and protein ratios right. But I mean, I'm sure you know what you're doing. All right. Susan, yes, I'm all to that, Aaron. All right. Really gradually cutting back, but I want to stop and see if my weight loss will pick up. Well, I'm not sure what you're trying to cut back, maybe carbs or artificial sweeteners or something like that might be slowing you down a little bit. But, maybe, you have to do one of these monthly challenges that some of these people do, or if you want to, maybe give one of those a try. I like to mix it up. Whenever I feel like I'm kind of stalled, I'll maybe do just beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for a week, or um, I'm thinking about doing that sea lion diet that Kip's doing on his channel. That Kip's barbecue carnivore Kip barbecue and cast iron. He's doing that sea lion diet, which is a lion diet plus seafood, which sounds very very doable. I think I could do that. All I'd really have to do is just cut out chicken and bacon. Um, that'd be then I'd be pretty much doing the sea lion diet. Um, okay, I see cheese, cream, and sweeteners. Yeah, those are tough give ups. Um, I'm a recovering Coke Zero addict. I loved Coke Zero and Cherry Coke Zero. They were my go to drink for a long, 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 long time. And, until I recently learned, how those can affect you and throw your uh, throw your hormones off and fool your body into uh, making insulin, um, and how they don't help you with weight loss or anything like that. Um, I cut back on them, and then now I'm done. I've been off of them for weeks now, and I do feel a little better. And um, I think I'm gradually going to see my weight start to go down as I get cleaner and cleaner. But I do use a little bit of stevia sweetener in my coffee. I make coffee similar to the way a lot of people do. I put butter in it and just like a little squirt of this sweetener that I get at Walmart called Pure, and it's a organic stevia leaf sweetener. It's called Pure, Pur, and I get it at Walmart. And they actually have the liquid one, and you just a little teeny squirt in there, and it helps offset the bitterness of the coffee, which I have a hard time with bitter tasting drinks. So, all right, you gave up cheese as it flares up your rosacea and causes constipation. Eggs too. I know how, cheese can definitely cause some flare-ups and constipation. I've struggled with that too with cheese. Have you tried just eating egg yolks instead of the whites? Because sometimes I've heard people having reactions to eating too many egg whites. But yolks, I would imagine, might be a little better, but everybody handles some stuff a little different. Natalie, yes, Diet Coke has been mine since a teenager, and a few years ago changed to full sugar Coke due to aspartame. So it's all so bad. Glad that's gone now. Yeah, I think Diet Coke is less bad than regular Coke, but yeah, it's all bad. That's for sure. Susan, I stopped Coke Zero the day after I drank a couple of them while out at a restaurant a month ago. I couldn't walk the next day. Wow, that's bad. I've never had anything like that happen to me from drinking Coke Zero. I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't that, but or maybe it was something you ate, or who knows. But I'm glad you're off of it now. I've been drinking a lot of water, and I've been making, because it's so damn hot out here, I've been making sun tea about every other day, and just drinking straight sun tea with no sweetener or anything in it. I'm from the north, so I can handle drinking unsweet tea. I know that's sacrilege if you're from the southern states, but up here in Indiana, a lot of times most of the time we drink our tea unsweet. Alt Middle, hi, I'm from Dallas. Welcome. Hoosiers love Texans. There's a lot in common between Texas and Indiana as far as like gun laws and castle doctrine and that kind of stuff. I asked a wild boar hunter why I only see ground boar pork in specialty stores, and he said all the good cuts go to Europe, where there's a strong market for it. Well, we like hogs here too, but maybe it's because I don't know. I think Ken Berry's talked about the stranglehold that a lot of these big companies have over meat production and meat distribution, and maybe that's why some of these smaller producers and boar hunters can't seem to get a toehold into the market to be able to sell wild boar. But yeah, I'd love to get a wild pig, get half a pig or something. I think that'd be great. I really like bacon and all kinds of different pork cuts. All right, Woodster, you got a question? You put a Q and then a blank. So, okay, Ellie, I have not tried eating just the yolks. I saw my skin clearing up when I did a month of lion diet, and I'm so desperate to get my skin healthy again. I was kind of blessed with naturally healthy skin. When I was a teenager, I had some acne, but I never had any on my face. And I've never really had any kind of rosacea or rashes. Maybe it's just genetics or my immune system or something, but having a clear complexion can do a lot for your self-image and confidence. So if that's what you got to do, lion diet to get your skin cleared up, I'd say do it. Maybe do it for 90 days. give your body really a good chance to heal up if you can do it, and then see if that rosacea goes away, and then maybe try adding in um, a yolk or two and see if it comes back, and kind of experiment. That's the fun thing about this diet. We can we've got a lot of leeway to kind of play around with stuff and see if it stalls us out, if it causes us skin issues, or how we feel, or that's one of the fun things about trying this diet, and seeing all the dramatic effects that it can have. Keeping a food journal, that's a good idea. Trying some new skin products, feel so incredible, and want the carnivore glow. You have a glow. You do. You've got a glow. I'm sure some days your glow's not as good as other days, but you got a glow. Okay, favorite carnivore meal. I'd say my favorite carnivore meal. I love seafood, and I did a mail order, or I did a special a purchase at one of the Good Fresh stores that was running a special on crab legs, and I bought like a 20-pound box of crab legs. So I really love crab leg night when we break those out. But probably a ribeye cooked on Big Joe with my seasoning. Man, that's tough to beat. Maybe one of these nights I'll have to do crab legs and a ribeye, but I try not to spoil myself too often. But a good ribeye, I try to have a ribeye at least once or twice a week. And then, like the other night I had lamb chops, and last night I had salmon. So try to mix it up. Yep, you'll get there. Changes are noticeable. Take some time. Yep, on the right path. I glow red. Thank you. I had clear skin my whole life, and then turning 30 suddenly had acne and rosacea. I was also 240 pounds and insulin resistant. That probably had a little bit to do with it. Sorry, gotta take a little sip of water and keep my voice from drying out. I don't have the greatest speaking voice, so got to try to maintain. Do you take any supplements, minerals, or electrolytes? Only I do. I have those Keto Chow daily mineral drops. I got like a sample trial of them, and I've been putting those in my coffee. And I'll probably order some more of that. I think that's a good thing to get those daily mineral drops. I don't feel any different from having it, but I know probably having it versus not having it is probably better. And usually with electrolytes, I just salt my food to taste. But when I'm fasting, I will try to do some element, or just eat some, like a little palmful of salt a couple times a day, just to make sure my electrolytes are staying up if I'm doing an extended fast. But otherwise, that's it. That's all I do. And I don't, I don't feel weak. I don't feel groggy, or, have leg cramps or anything like that. So I think my mineral levels must be okay. All right, Natalie, I ate something with a small bit of sugar in it and had hot flashes all night. Won't be doing that again. Yeah, I've had that happen too, but it happened with alcohol. When I was on my business trip, everybody went out and somebody bought me a beer, which I didn't drink all of it, but when I was drinking some of it, I got like a little alcohol hot flash from that. And as soon as I felt that hit, I quit drinking the beer. But it was good. I mean, I'm not a huge beer drinker, And I don't really miss it. But other than that, I don't drink any alcohol at all. Yeah, we all notice things similarly. It's like our bodies can detect the bad stuff now. Yeah, I think, you know, narrowing down our diet probably makes us, you know, a lot more sensitive to getting something that's not so good, whether, you know, because when we were all eating the standard American diet, um, you know, we were all so kind of numb to the effects probably. And now that we're eating cleaner, and we're eliminating those things, now when we have them, I think our body can tolerate them less and they're more noticeable, which is probably a good thing. Because if we had something bad and it didn't do anything, it'd be much harder to stay on this diet, on this way of eating. I'd boil up if I had alcohol now. Oh man. What's my longest fast? I think I remember being a long time. You're so disciplined. Well, my longest fast was at the beginning of August, and I did an 8-day water fast. I know 8 days sounds crazy to some people, but I worked my way up to it. So over the last few months, you know, I would do, you know, OMAD, and then, you know, I would do 48 and 72 hours. And then I think back in late June or July, I did a 5-day. And then in August, I did an 8-day. Um, and really, I mean, once you are fat adapted, fasting becomes way, way easier. So if any of you guys are considering fasting, you know, think of fasting as like a muscle. You got to build up with it. I wouldn't suggest anybody just do an 8-day fast. I mean, you can try, but you know, it might be a little much for you. So, you know, maybe do a 2-day fast, then a 3, then a 4 or a 5, and then try taking it out past 5. But really, for me, the hardest thing is going the whole day and then going to bed without eating. And then once I wake up in the morning, day 2 isn't bad. Um, day 3, uh, going to bed for the second time and the third time, your body's really ramping up its metabolism. Dr. Fung says that when you're fasting, your metabolism can increase by 10%, because your body is ramping up. It's using, you know, fat for energy. You're making ketones, and it's the reason the human race has existed all this time. You're ramping up so you can run out there and kill another woolly mammoth or a buffalo or something and drag that home and eat it. So you'll start feeling, I usually start feeling pretty good around day 3 or 4. And then if it wasn't for going on my business trip, I was going to try to do 9 days, but I wanted to refeed, and I didn't want to be 700 miles from home and trying to refeed and restart my digestive system while I was so far away from home. So that's why I cut it short to 8 days. But I was doing good at 8 days. I felt strong, and I lost about 14 pounds during that 8 days, and I've regained about maybe 4 of it. So you always kind of spring back a little bit after a fast, which is only natural. Well done. Are you going to join the 24-hour carnivore live? Yes, absolutely. I'll be in there. You know, I think everybody's going to get a minute or two, and I've got a little homework assignment that I'm going to try to make a little my story. So if any of you guys are jumping in, I would suggest doing a little homework assignment, maybe have some words prepared, because a couple of minutes is going to go by fast. And I think they're going to try to do 500 to 1,000 carnivores during that 24-hour period, in addition to having Dr. Chafee on. And I don't know, he's got a pretty good lineup coming, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about it. What sort of sustained weight loss did you see from your longer fasts? So yeah, so I usually lose weight steadily over the fast. I don't just drop a bunch all at once. It's like every day I get on the scale, it'll be 2 pounds less, 2 pounds less, 2 pounds less. And then sometimes you won't lose any. And then you'll lose 2 or 3. But for me, it's usually pretty steady. And then once I refeed, you can count on a couple of pounds bouncing back almost immediately. But it will usually stay off as long as I don't overeat. That's another thing about fasting. You can't just, break your fast and then go to the Chinese buffet and just tear into it, because that's not going to do you any good. You're gonna gain a lot of weight back doing that. But breaking your fast is a very important part of extended fasting. I like to drink some bone broth, either like Kettle and Fire or stuff that I make. If I don't have to make it, I usually keep a couple boxes of that Kettle and Fire beef bone broth handy in case I need it. And then like a couple hours later, I'll have a couple scrambled eggs, and then after that, I can usually, go right into having a regular meal. And I haven't had any refeeding issues, so I feel fortunate. Let's see. And I thought 18.6 was good. Well, 18.6 is good. 18.6 is what my wife and my mother are doing. I think sometimes 16.8, but most of the time about 18.6. Here lately, I've been doing 24, just because I want to get that couple extra hours of autophagy in. But 18.6 is fantastic. I mean, I consider 18.6 intermittent fasting and carnivore to be like normal. That's normal, because humans are meant to feast and then to fast. So, like I said in one of my videos, we've got this storage thing here. We got this rainy day fund, and if we never use the rainy day fund, it's going to catch up with us. So, if you're currently not fasting and you're not losing weight, try doing the intermittent fast. I think you'll find that you'll like it. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you very much. Hit the like button for me. Limitless Lindy, you got a new channel. I recognize you from the Homestead How chats. Hope your new channel's doing well. Need to go over there and see. I think you just posted a couple videos recently, so definitely go over there and check out Limitless Lindy. I think what was he calling you? We were trying to come up with another name for your channel. I can't remember what it was. All right, Susan, been intermittent fasting since 2018, usually 16.8. That's great. That's awesome. All right, thought you would join the live. That's awesome. So when you guys when you saw me do the live, did you see my post beforehand and knew I was going live? Or did you just stumble across me while you were surfing YouTube? I just wanted to see if what I posted earlier, I just did like a little screen post, and I just wanted to see if that actually worked or not. You're trying. Carrie makes it look so easy. Lindy the Legend. Yeah, that was it. Lindy the Legend. Because yeah, she's lost a ton of weight. And she's doing really well. Okay, Woodster, you saw the post. That's great. All right. Well, I'm glad that worked. And then that's part of this whole, you know, trying this out and making sure that everybody can see me. And I'm going to try a couple things here. I'm going to see if I can show. I haven't tried doing this yet. Yeah, everyone hit the like button for Hoosier. Hey, that works. That's my first time ever doing that. That was really easy. Susan. Hi, Natalie Spencer. She's intermittent fasting, usually 16:8. Saw the post and it notified, but couldn't join until now. I had a work meeting. Well, we all have to do work. I just was working right up until a couple minutes before I went live. Yes, the other live stream notice was there. I checked back. I'm rocking it. Well, hey, thank you very much. I was a little nervous about doing this and trying to keep the conversation going. If anybody has any other questions, I appreciate all the comments. Trying to see, looks like we've got 6 viewers on here. That's awesome. I was hoping maybe Carnivore Scott would come in here. I've joined a bunch of his. Maybe he's busy doing his working on his pavilion. Well, thank you very much, Ellie. I really appreciate that. And the background makes you feel at home. I kind of like this background. I'm going to go out and look for some more because the background actually behind me is my basement, and it's a wreck. So okay, well, some of my hobbies. Well, this is one of them. This is actually Skinny Brett from 2017 when I first started keto. I'd lost a bunch of weight, and I like fishing bass tournaments, and I'm in a couple fishing clubs. But this is what happens when you don't stick to your diet. You gain all your weight back, which is what we're trying to correct now. So I'm in a Christian bass fishing club where I get to co-angle with another boater, and we fish as a team in bass fishing tournaments. And then I'm in another club where I just fish with the same guy every time, and we fish lakes all around the state. It costs a little to enter the tournaments, but we win a few, lose a few, and it's not a lot of money, and it makes it a lot of fun, makes it interesting. Plus, I get I get to see the sunrise and get to be outside in the fresh air, competitive, and usually with a bunch of great people. It's just it's a great way to spend your time, and it's a great way to decompress. Because I travel around for my job all the time, and I get a lot of windshield time doing my other business, and you gotta decompress, and fishing is my way of decompressing. Thank you, Natalie. Appreciate that. Thank you, Susan. Oh, you saw Scott and Ken Berry's live chat earlier. Okay. Well, he's probably got other things to do than just jump around our chats. He's waiting for the after party. Well, if he goes live, maybe we'll all jump out of here after, and we'll jump into his. All right, Ellie, I grew up fishing. It was a lot of fun. The worms grossed me out. Good memories. I don't remember how to do anything now. Well, fortunately, I don't have to deal with worms. Well, rubber worms. We use artificial baits for bass fishing. We're not allowed to use any kind of live bait. But yeah, I never cared much for putting worms on the hook. Great questions, Woodster. Yeah. Oh, I'm competing with Alia. Well, that's fine. Alia is awesome. Um, she put out a couple of little videos here recently, and I'm subscribed to her channel too. Um, Trying to keep things rolling. I appreciate that because being here by myself, sometimes it's hard to keep things rolling, and I wanted to make sure I'm talking about things that are interesting to all of you. Um, any certain topics any of you guys would like to hit? I have that live up as well, but came over here to show Hoosier Carnivore some support. Well, I really appreciate that, Natalie. You're awesome. I have not tried contacting anybody else for doing live interviews. Um, I'd love to get on and talk to Sean or Dave Mack or Carnivore Kip. They all got great channels. I don't know if you've seen Intentional Carnivore's latest. He was my Hoosier Carnivore for my last video. That guy's lost 269 pounds, and I said in my video that's like a whole me. I'm 245 pounds. So he's lost a whole full-grown man I'm 5'9" and 245 pounds. I mean, that's pretty darn impressive. What do I think about fruit on carnivore? Fruit, it's not carnivore. Yeah, fruits. I mean, if cheese is going to stall you out, I think fruit would definitely stall you out. And if you want to, like I've heard a lot of them say, there aren't any fruits and vegetables that have more vitamins and minerals than a ribeye. We can there aren't any essential carbs or sugars that humans are required to ingest, only protein and fat. So I would say, fruit's not for me. Maybe, on occasion, if you wanted to have some strawberries or blueberries or something with a low glycemic index, if it's a treat, do it. But that's not something I'm going to do. But if you're trying to get over fatty liver disease, you definitely don't want to eat fruit because fruit is very high in fructose, and the human body can't process fructose. It all has to go to the liver first to get changed into glucose, I believe, so the body can actually use it. So if you're eating honey or fruit or anything that's really high in fructose, it can be hard on your liver if you're trying to get over fatty liver disease. So you're a fruitivore. What kind of fruits are you adding? Hopefully nothing that's really high in sugar. So you got to meet up the algorithm. That's right. Speaking of interviews, I'm talking with Carrie tomorrow and Carnivore Today on Friday. Reach out to other carnivores. I'm so nervous. Ellie, you don't have anything to be nervous about. You're a natural on the camera. I think you'll do very well. Who inspired you the most before or early on your carnivore journey? Um, well, I mean, Ken Berry, um, and Dr. Jason Fung. And actually, when I was doing keto back in 2017, I watched a lot of Dr. Berg videos, and that guy's. Some people don't like him, some do. I always thought his videos were pretty educational, um, but after that, I started drifting over to Dr. Berry. I really like Kelly Hogan. I like Laura Spath. Um, I like, let's see, who else do I really like? I like Dr. Jason Fung and watching his fasting videos. He doesn't really tell you what to eat, but he just tells you how to fast and fasting strategies and what to expect and what to do while fasting, what not to do while fasting, what breaks your fast. So I really like his videos. Um, Dr. Chafee, although I haven't really watched a lot of Dr. Chafee's videos until probably the last 3 or 4 months. I heard of him and I watched a couple things, but I never really got into his channel much. But yeah, he's fantastic. And I don't know if I think of a couple others, I'll mention them. But Dr. Berry, Laura Spath, Kelly Hogan, they're all wonderful. Okay, Ellie, my kids eat strawberries as a snack. If they eat their breakfast and lunch, meat is always the priority. I think that's fine for kids. Um, kids, their system's not broken yet, so they can definitely handle some strawberries. They could probably handle some blueberries too. Um, and some people like raspberries too. They have a low, any kind of fruit or berry or berries with a low glycemic index. Yep. I buy strawberries for my birds. It's their favorite treat. Every time we've tried to grow strawberries in the past, the birds always eat them. So that makes sense. Natalie, I'm a ketovore, but do have fruits. I found when I started, I was eating a lot, but now it's minimal. Some days it's all meat. I'm weaning it out. That's great. And if your weight loss journey is going the way you want it to go, and you have a little bit of fruit every now and then, go for it. But for me, my system is pretty well trashed. Uh, I'm had type 2 diabetes. I'm very insulin resistant still, and having any of that, I'll have blood sugar spikes for basically anything that's not uh, protein or fat. And sometimes if I eat too much protein, my blood sugar will go up too. So I got a bit more healing to do, but hopefully once I get down to my goal weight, which is about 175 is what I'm going to shoot for, hopefully I'll be able to add back a little bit and not regain it, and maybe get a little healing to my system and get a little bit of my insulin resistance and become more insulin reactive. I like Dr. Berg. Yeah. Dr. Berg has just started when I did keto. I don't know why others don't like him. Yeah, maybe it is because he's a chiropractor. He doesn't come off as being a nutrition expert, but he certainly knows a lot about them. And he was pretty much the big keto guy, 5, 6 years ago. He was the Dr. Berry of keto, the way Dr. Berry is with carnivore. Natalie's great. She's in here all the time. So is Susan. Yeah, I just watched Nisa's newest video where she had her kids outside and her little boy was dressed up as a red Power Ranger and they were running around in the yard and playing with rocks and in the grass with the chickens and turkeys and stuff. And it was a really nice video. You know, very kind of heartwarming. Nisha's got a very good channel. I'll watch out for your live streams and show support. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm subscribed to Ellie's channel, and we'll definitely jump in if I ever see her go live. Same here, Dr. Berg and his nemesis, Dr. Eckberg, and slowly crossed over to Dr. Baker and Dr. Berry. I've watched Dr. Eckberg too. He kind of comes at it because he was an athlete, which will tell you that he was like an Olympic athlete in the start of every one of his videos. But he's had a lot of really, he gets into the science of it a little bit, which I kind of like. I kind of geek out on that a little bit, really getting into the science of it. So I like his videos for that reason, for the science. And Dr. Jason Fung, he gets into the science quite a bit too. Oh, and Dr. Sean Baker, yeah, Baker, he's awesome. I just wish he'd wear a sweater or something sometime during his videos. I'm done with the muscle shirts. But you ladies, you know, I'm sure the muscle shirts are fun. Oh yeah, he pushed his greens and products too much. Yeah, he did push his products quite a bit, but the one product of his that I really liked, and maybe I'll go back and I want to look at the ingredients on it again. He had that electrolyte powder that was really high in potassium. And I always felt really good when I was drinking that high potassium drink, but it was sweet. And I'm sure it had some type of sweetener in it, and I'm trying to stay away from sweeteners. So let's see. Biggest fish I've ever caught. Show the size with my hands. Okay. Biggest fish I ever caught was a 7-pound, well, we'll say freshwater fish. Was a 7-pound largemouth bass, and it was 22.5 inches long. So maybe about, I don't know, yay big, 22.5 inches long. Caught that in a flooded lake. It was this lake was 10 feet flooded, and we were up in these trees trying to pitch back, because a lot of times when those lakes get flooded, the fish will go up to where they can't normally get, you know, because it's not in the water. So they'll get up there and look for bugs or whatever's having to fall in the water. And I pitched a bait behind this tree, and that bait just started walking off and got her in the net. It was a good day. Biggest saltwater fish, when I was 10, I caught a 4-foot long lemon shark fishing with my grandpa out on the Gulf Coast outside of Clearwater. That was a memorable day too. Never forget it. Never forget it. It's more autoimmune than weight, but I could do with losing a little more, down 5 kilos so far in just under 3 months. Okay. 5 kilos. I don't know how much that is in pounds. It's what, about 12 pounds? Something like that? I don't know. I'm in the United States. You know, that's a good amount of weight loss. It's not too much, too fast, which kind of makes me worry about some people who've lost a lot of weight really fast. I just hope they don't get a bounce back. Bird did teach me a lot about keto, but Barry had a different idea about things. Yes, that's definitely for sure. Dr. Barry's much more focused on the carb content and the proper human diet. And in his opinion, vegetables, even leafy green vegetables, are not part of the proper human diet. Yeah, her kids are very cute. Yeah, I wish I had the land they have too. I really want to. We live in a neighborhood with an HOA, so um, I'd love to be able to have a little land in the country and be able to raise my own chickens and eggs. I think that'd be a lot of fun. 2018 is when you started keto. Yeah, I was a little bit before that. But then, the reason why I gained all my weight back probably during 2018, 19, keto just allowed too much for me. I was making fat bombs and I was making like keto bread. I was making keto bagels with everything but the bagel seasoning on it, and the green beans and the green vegetables, and there were too many recipes, and it was too much pretending that you were eating something bad when you were trying to eat something good, and it was a pathway that led me right off of the wagon. So I heard one guy say, one of these keto channels, I think it's like Old Guy Carnivore or something. I can't remember the name of his channel, but I watched one of his videos, and he said anybody doing carnivore, he highly advised them to not make recipes that imitate unhealthy foods. And that kind of makes sense. Made a lot of sense to me. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't really stay on keto, or I kind of drifted off of it because I was basically pretending to eat foods that were unhealthy, and it just made me want the real thing. Yeah, big enough. It was a big one. I won some money with that fish on the big bass prize. Do we keep them or throw them back? We always throw them back. Bass fishermen don't usually eat their catch because they're kind of considered a money fish, because people fish tournaments and they want to catch bass and win prizes and release the fish and then catch them again someday. Oh, okay, so 5 kilos is about 11 pounds. That's great. In 3 months, that's what, like a pound a week. St. Petersburg. Moved to Citrus County at 11, moved to South Carolina at 43. St. Petersburg is near where my grandparents lived down there. Near Tampa. Awesome. I'm sure it's plenty warm down there right now. I make keto recipes too over the years, but only on special occasions. You have to keep it simple. Yeah, I know for me, I have to keep it simple because I know if I start making other, imitation stuff, I'm going to want to have the real thing. I made so many imitation foods on keto and had so many stalls. Yeah, I ate way too much processed foods too. Carnivore stopped all of my addictions to carb and sugar. That is wonderful. That is awesome. And yeah, that's just, you're going through the same thing I was going through. And actually, I got an idea for a video that I'm going to try to put together about sugar addiction. And I think I'm going to call it, this is what sugar addiction looks like. And it's going to be, like from my perspective on what sugar addiction was like for me, and how I, suffered through it and for years and years and years, and didn't even really realize that it was a sugar addiction that was driving my behavior. I mean, it was driving my behavior a lot. Have you watched Butter Bob's videos? Yeah, I have seen some of Butter Bob's videos. I'm not sure he's making videos anymore. Carnivore is so much cleaner, and that's why people do so well on it compared to keto. Yeah, I really haven't seen anybody complaining that they couldn't lose weight doing carnivore the correct way, eating clean. I think, years from now, when carnivore, I know it's going to be more and more popular as time goes on, but as the data comes in from thousands and thousands of people doing carnivore for years and years and years, I think we'll see that carnivore will have a much higher success rate long term than probably any other diet out there. Ah, very nice. I think you're talking about me. If not, hey, I think we all relate to we all go through a lot of the same stuff. All right, Whitney, thank you for coming in, heading out. Thanks for chatting. We've been going live here for an hour. So I'll probably wrap this up. It's 10 o'clock my time. So we'll wrap this up in a couple minutes. If anybody's got any last minute things they want to ask me or talk about, or some kind of, something else to do it. Oh, hey, just in time. Welcome, Carnivore Scott. Welcome to my virtual meat locker. Somebody told me you were in Dr. Barry's live earlier, and that's why you were blowing us off. No, I'm just kidding. Just got home from a church small group. Glad to see you. I'm going to have my little church small group this weekend because I've got a bass fishing tournament with my Christian Bass Club, and we always do like a little devotional and prayer before we fish, and it's always real nice. I like that. Carnivore Scott, you joined us. All right, everybody, hit the like. I got 8 people in here now. Wow, I feel like I feel big time now. That's how many Scott has been having in his. I think the other day he had a little more than that. All right, Susan's ready for an after party at Carnivore Scott's. Probably going to hang it up here in a little bit. I saw you over there at Carnivore Scott. I said hi, but the chat moves so fast. Yeah, I'm keeping up with the chat here pretty good because there's only 8 of us in here, so it's been going pretty well. All right, he has about 5 of these small groups every week. That's great. Wish I could devote a little more time to doing that, but with businesses and family, I'm pretty happy with what I get now with my connection to God. So, all right, well, if that's it, I think I'll just say goodnight to everybody. Maybe jump in, and if Scott goes live, I may jump in there for a minute and put a like in his live. So, one last question here from Natalie. Don't want to leave out Natalie. Do you think you'll be a carnivore for life now? Yes, I do. I don't see really any other reason. From all the research and reading I've done, all the videos I've watched and tried to educate myself the best, proper human diet for life. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully I may be able to, have a couple little like strawberries or cheese or something when I get to the end of my weight loss journey. But I think, our health journey is going to be one that continues for the rest of our lives. So, well, thank you very much. Yeah, Carnivore Scotty's an empty nester. Yeah, I've got a couple kids and wife upstairs who keep me pretty busy. Thank you very much, Woodster. Appreciate you jumping in. Excellent live stream. Thank you very much, Natalie. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and end the live stream here. Thanks again to everybody who came in. I think this went really smooth, and I look forward to going live again soon. Good night, everybody.